What's up, gang?
Good
Hey, Jonathan. Hey,
morning.
good morning, Pooja. Nice to have you. I think we can get started for this week. So, as usual, I start these things out with a quick introduction of Build City, Near Legion, what we do with these streams, and the general idea of what this particular stream is going to be about today. Um, so Build City is a community and network of builders. Our intention here is to empower people and their ideas and create a process to build, create, and to do it in a way that is effective, systematic, and um, uh, a path for people to rewire the way they think so that they can effectively execute on the things that they're looking to create. These past few weeks and past few months, we've been really starting to structure out what that looks like. We've I'm gonna just throw a teaser out. There's something called a 4 pillar structure that we're working on here in Build City and Near Legion, and we'll be rolling that out as we go with these live streams and in-person events as well. We've been working with Near Legion closely to activate the New York City node within the Legion structure. Legion is also rolling out other city nodes as well, with Chicago being the latest one that's been rolled out. Elliot's not here today; he's on vacation, but I'm sure he'll be coming on these live streams soon. He's the head for the Chicago node, and we'll be doing some cross-city collaborations as we go. For these live streams, we've been working with Pooja to build out a MVP for a lead qualification aggregator and generator. Um, the intention is that as we figure out how to build, we could do it in a way where we're actually addressing a real world problem. And Pooja came to us a couple of weeks ago, explaining her industry, some of the challenges. And based off of that, we thought it might be interesting to try to tackle this on a weekly basis. Um, hey, Jill,
Hello.
welcome. Um, so that's the idea. We're gonna kind of get Pooja's feedback a bit more this week. I really took a pause on building anything throughout the week. I felt that it would be good to kind of rethink the way that we're approaching this MVP. And speak to Pooja a bit about like what her thoughts are on what's already been built, and maybe just create something that's like a speed run to build something quickly. Ideally, we're looking to have something by next week, and I think that's still possible. We'll just have to shorten the scope quite a bit to avoid really feature creep. I think that's one of the concerns that I have here. Um, and then we can outline next steps, right? Like, okay, we have something that seems good enough. Are we ready to show it to users, or do we continue to iterate with Pooja until she feels like it's a good enough application that she could show the rest of her industry? Something for us to consider. Um, and this entire thing is a learning process. We're still understanding how to create a consistent system for these things, and also how to have this be repeatable for other things as well. Um, yeah, that's the general idea. Pooja, how you been? How's the past week and past few weeks been for you?
Hey, it's been really good. Market is really busy, but I'm excited to see what we have so far. I'm sorry I missed the last couple of meetings.
It's all right. Um, some markets busy.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you as well.
I've been hearing about you a lot.
On. Thanks.
Pooja's
Hopefully,
the
good
same.
things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, about the project. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, thank God Tony's doing this. I'm actually really excited to see it. I always love playing with AI, but this is like another level of AI that I haven't like ever touched. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
it
is a
would be
fun.
fun.
Sorry, Jill.
Huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead,
Oh
Jill.
no, don't worry. Would be fun to have a review of because I know you're a designer and a review of the web interface by the skill UX UI skill from Anthropic or from another UI reviewer would be fun to have it
Right.
live.
That would be cool. Jill, do you know anyone who's in the UI UX space?
Oh, yeah, I come from there. I mean,
I see.
I am. I spent 1 year in certification to certify my smart contract developer skills, but
Mhm.
I am a UX UI developer. I am a designer, a product designer, as for
Mm.
the application. So yeah, I mean, UX UI is basically the creative part is my part, but you know, then you know the blockchain and you like it, and you try to do stuff with it, and you develop backend knowledge.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I think.
it's
I
part
think.
of product. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say I think it would be pretty cool to see how we can like restructure the entire planning of this thing. Since you come from like the product design place, like maybe there's a way to manage how the flow works for this for development of these things. Um, we've been kind of doing it off of a whim, uh, moving as we go. But there's probably a structured way to do this that's just better, right? Like maybe we go through the entire flow of how the application would look like. It doesn't have to be for this one, but it could be something for us to consider for anything else that we tackle or for this project as we continue to tackle it in the future.
Yeah, I think that from a product design point of view, my experience with product design is basically it's coherent with the theory of design thinking.
Mm.
So it's what I care about is the process. So the best thing to do would be okay. It would be fun to ask to an agent with a UX UI skill to review the project. But if we have a first draft and some feedback on the draft, and we can ask the agent to review the project from the point of view of the feedback, having 2 or 3 points and telling the agent, okay, review this UX and UI from a UX and UI point of view, but take into consideration these feedback points. And the agent will review that using the feedback points. And maybe this way you get a review that is more in line with the idea of product design with the design thinking theory. So the cycle of feedback and improving the product every time that you that you build
Yeah.
on it.
And would the feedback be from users testing it out? Is that the idea?
Yeah, we have the main person present here that is gonna use it. So it's probably the first person that we're gonna get the feedback on the interface from.
Mhm.
And she has probably a good idea of what the interface is about, and so she's probably gonna give you some guidelines and also some boundaries. We were speaking about boundaries the last time we met.
Mhm.
Yeah, from a point of view of because it's the design thinking theory is interesting from a psychological point of view. It's organizational psychology, but it's really interesting how psychology is can inscribe itself into the product design process, in the product life, in the life of the product. So it's interesting how, with the right mind frame, you can build great products and interact with your user in a way that is constructive, using the feedback in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and this is all my stuff, but there is this Think Again book by a guy that is called Adam Grant, which is a professor at Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, now I see it. Yeah, and this book is very, very good. It's been a bestseller because it's a book that is the underlying psychology of the product design as we know it. Okay.
Interesting.
So,
I wonder
yeah,
if it would be valuable to break down the book and feed it to an agent, basically for the agent to think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be good. Um,
Oh, really? I didn't know it was $7. It's worth it, and it's all about attitude. So it's the kind of book that you wanna a short report to put into your soul skill. If you have Hermes, if you use Hermes, you put it in your soul. If you use a normal agent, you put into your agent.md and you use it. You ask your agent to behave in a certain way, and you use that book. It's fun. It's not fun. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant book.
yeah, that's nice. This is a bit off topic, but um, why is it the case that I think Hermes has both agent and soul markdown files, right? Why is it the case that they've separated the two for specifically the Hermes framework?
I think that Hermes is an harness, which is, by the way, the thing that I've been asked in the Near Builder chat like 2 weeks ago. I was speaking about the lesson, and people told me, why don't you put the harness, which harness you use into the lesson? And I told them, okay, I just want a lesson that is basic. So I teach people how to do stuff without a harness. Then you can use the harness. Hermes is an harness.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, it modifies the behavior of the agent in a number of ways. One of these ways is the file that the model use to behave, and the soul file is something that you don't find if you use. It's interesting how Anthropic behaves with Hermes. Example that I have seen many people complaining on X because they find that they have found out I don't know 1 month and a half ago, that if you use Hermes, if you have an Hermes.nd file in your root directory, the Anthropic model will spend more tokens. And they were so angry, they were complaining on X because they said that Anthropic is running against the Hermes harness. It could be. Who knows? They want you to use the harness, not Hermes.
That's interesting.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Hermes. Yeah, it's interesting. Hermes is smart. It's very smart.
It's interesting. They're using favoritism, huh? Going after your wallet based off of what they want instead of you having the freedom to use as you wish, which you still do, but they can burn a hole through your wallet. That's interesting.
I think I lost your last sentence. I don't
No,
know
I
if
said
it's
it's
my...
interesting that they can basically burn a hole through your wallet, right? And that's how they can kind of direct you towards using the tools that they want you to use, basically.
Yeah, and it's also I don't remember how they realized that the model, which was probably Opus 4.8, was checking Hermes.md. So on the model, they have put a routine. I don't know how they realized that, but they found out that the model was checking if you have an Hermes.md, and if you had, you spent more token. There is probably a way. I don't know how, honestly. Anyways, yeah, the harness part is not a part that I'm gonna cover in the lesson, because I'm gonna spend the lesson in describing how to use the agent into the block, but I'm not gonna describe. There's too many harness.
Yeah. There's too many, and then you don't necessarily want to get detailed in one, right? Because it
How to
might.
use it.
Sorry, I think you cut off, and I might have talked over you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Go on.
No, I said like you might not want to necessarily get so in depth into one harness, right? Just to back up your point, because like it in itself may be outdated in just a few months, right?
Yes, and also there are many projects that are like the Ralph loop. I don't know if you guys know the Ralph loop, but it's basically a builder coin, and it's one of the few meme coin that is going very well now, and it's a loop. It's a code that is similar to the goal command that I described in the lesson, and it's been built to let agents behave in a more autonomous way. And the guy that built it, he basically gathered a little community like 1 year ago, on July 2025. For 6 months, the community grew so fast that the community released the token, and they raised funds for research and for other stuff within the community. So, and this is one of the most notorious project of the AI blockchain world now. Okay. And it's a command. It's like the goal command. I don't know if you remember that I said we should train. We should build a command for just for Iron Claw. Okay. If you build a good skill, if you set up a good command, you can gather community around it, and you can coin your builder coin. And this builder coin has not made in millions. I mean that it's made to raise funds for research, so it's completely for that. But it's cool. The story of life is very cool.
Where can we find out more about this?
Let me check if I have a link, because I think I follow him on X, so sometimes I get to retweet, repost some of his, and he speaks a lot about Hermes recently because he's using Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check, just one moment. Yes, this guy. I find the point is that I don't remember the name of the guy. Just one moment.
It's okay.
No, I'm gonna find it.
Okay. You can drop it in the chat whenever you get a chance.
Yeah. I will.
Okay. So Pooja, let's do a quick recap. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So Nub had actually put this together initially after we had our first meeting with Pooja. And there was a whole bunch of stuff that we kind of outlined that could be helpful for for her and her industry. Sorry, my throat is a little dry. um, so really, the like it didn't seem practical that we could build out all these steps within just a few weeks in a way that made sense, right? Like you don't want to just like build out an entire system, not fully understand it because we're using these tools, and then end up having a whole bunch of features that maybe work, maybe don't work, but you may end up with just like a hodgepodge of random features, and a lot of it might be unnecessary. So we if I remember correctly, we had highlighted a couple of things that seemed the most necessary. Uh, Obviously, the lead generation part, the lead qualification part, and then the CRM management part. Which does that sound right?
Yeah, those seem like the more important things. Yeah.
So we've put together a lead qualification part, right? So we have the lead qualification engine set up, and we have like a front end for that. Um, there's no real data coming into it, and we haven't set up like the exact processes of how to actually find the leads, how they can input their information and go through the qualification engine. Um, so that's one thing we can talk about today. Sorry, did someone speak?
No.
Oh, okay, that's something we can talk about today. I'll show you the site, show you how it looks so far, and then we could talk about like what could be built out uh, within the next week that can get it to a point where you're comfortable to start demoing it for yourself and for anyone else that might be interested to try it out. So let me show you what I got. Okay, Pooja, I think I had sent this to you. You might have seen it a little while ago. But essentially, we're calling this the mortgage lead qualification MVP. This in its entirety was built out using Ironclaw.
Are you sharing your screen?
It looks like I am not. Let me share.
Yeah. But cool. Thanks.
All right. Can you guys see my screen
Oh
now?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I had, oh wow, I had sent this to you, Pooja, a little while ago. But yeah, the entirety of this was built out using Ironclaw. So what
I
we
think it
have.
looked a little different on the phone. That's why I was like, oh wow, that's cool. On the computer you see like everything clear.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually something I'll look into how it looks in the phone itself. But we have 4 tabs here. We have the dashboard. We have a new lead intake. This is a bug. It's highlighting both of these. We have these saved fictional leads here, and then we have an audit trail to see like what the process was for each lead. It says complete chronological record of fictional lead creation, scoring, and broker review events stored in browser local storage. That's unnecessary for it to be there, but it's just for anyone who goes through the site for them to get a sense of how this was built. So we have these 5 fictional leads that are already loaded into this. We have like a way to kind of show if this lead is ready for your review or not. Hot is obviously meeting certain metrics, and that's a lead that you might want to spend more time on. You have warm, you have cold, you have not ready, and you have one that might need some manual review. Potentially, like, it might be issue with data or some other case. So let's see if we can open up one of these. Maybe we'll use one that's hot. Okay. So here it'll show you lead priority, showing hot. It did the preliminary debt to income ratio percentage, showing 27%, and then the initial down payment. Pooja, like, would you traditionally see a percentage for DTI? Like if you were to use another platform or if you were to do the calculation yourself, how does that usually work?
Yeah, DTI is typically a percentage, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, and what is like a percentage that you'd say, like something that would get you excited from an applicant?
Under 50%.
Under 50%. Okay.
And
So
what they use to calculate DTI is like major debts that show up on their credit report, like credit cards, car loans, student loans, things like that, versus the mortgage that they're going to get.
okay. And you describe that as like major debt, right?
Yeah, major debt is like what reports on your credit report, not like their cell phone bill, not their utilities, things like that. It's just the major stuff like installment debt that they have, like credit cards, personal loans, car loans, things like that. And the
Okay.
mortgage that they're going to get versus their income.
Interesting. Okay. So
But it looks like it's doing it. Like it says proposed monthly housing expense. Oh wait, housing expense. That's 2,400. That's like the mortgage payment it's saying. Recurring monthly debt is what they have, like their installment debts. It doesn't say much about what their goal is in terms of a purchase price or how
purchase.
much they're looking to put. Yeah, down payment is 20%, I guess. But they don't say like a purchase price here. So it's not showing like how do we know that the monthly expense is 2,400 proposed if we don't know the loan amount or the purchase price kind of thing. That's missing.
Mm. So you would need like the purchase price that they're expecting to buy a house at, right?
Yeah, because if they're saying if this is like calculating a DTI, then it has to like the proposed monthly housing expense is 2,400. We would have to know like, okay, this person's looking for a house that's like 500,000 for the payments to be like this, I guess. But this isn't really the biggest thing, honestly. The biggest thing is finding the lead. I wanted to talk about that today. Like,
Okay.
how do we find the leads that we want to play with? I mean, if we get the person on the phone, no matter what, the pre-screen is going to be a little off, right? So mainly it's cool to like get an interested buyer that has like money, has income, has credit.
So the challenge is like the source. Like that's actually good that that you're kind of redirecting the conversation there. Because the qualification engine, I'm sure we can figure it out. Like there's already these systems that are
Yeah,
out
that's like step two.
there. Yeah,
Qualifying is like step
yeah,
two. First thing is getting someone to qualify, you know?
right. So what are the systems like today? Like how do you source a lead? How do you source a lead traditionally? I think we had talked about this, but it might be good to get a recap. Like
Social
how do you
media,
okay.
my sphere of influence. But some people buy leads from like sources, like for example, Lending Tree. Sorry, I'm like sleepy voice. But like Lending Tree, um, for example, it's a website where people go to get lending, and it just connects them with different lenders or different people, right? So like someone will make an inquiry, and whoever's paying for the Lending Tree leads will get the inquiry that this person is interested in doing something, and then they reach out. For example, that's one thing. Sometimes people use meta ads to reach out to people, and then people click on their ads. There's some databases that have like information of property owners, people that already own a property that might have a high interest rate that I want to refinance, or maybe want to buy another property because they have a lot of equity, you know, things like that. Those things we can convince the seller, the buyer, sorry, or the client, like, hey, you have this much equity, you have a high rate, you should look at options. That could be a lead. You know, it doesn't have to be someone so hot interested. It could be someone that needs it but hasn't reached out, you know,
Hmm.
based on data. I'm just spitting things.
No, it's good. Um, so that's interesting. So is that public data? When a person gets a loan on a property, is that publicly available? Like this person got this loan at this percentage. You there, Pooja? Oh, she got kicked off. Sorry, Pooja. I think you got kicked off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm in. So I don't know that it's publicly available. It might be. Um, some people like the property radar thing. People pay for, I think, like to get that information. But I do believe it is public, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm. That's something for us to find out. If it is public, that does make our
Yeah.
jobs easier. Is
Are you speaking?
no, I'm speaking to myself. I'm mumbling to myself as I write down notes. Um,
I might have
hmm.
to get out and come back in.
Can you hear me? Hmm. Hey, Nov.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Hey, Pooja, you can hear me?
So while we're waiting for Pooja to get back, I just have like a question about like, discovering like what kind of stuff you want your software product to build. A lot of times you can ask your stakeholders to describe things in terms of user stories. So like, this is not my field. I don't know anything about like mortgages, but like as a mortgage broker, I would like to know what the treasury yields are, so I could offer better deals. Whatever, I don't know, But the point is, it's like I like to know, like I like to like know something or be able to do something for a particular reason, And if you get a whole bunch of these, like a lot of these, right, you'll be able, and then you prioritize them. You'll be able to like build something that will deliver value because everything is like justified. Each you got feature requests, and they're justified because the user story also tells you like what why the user persona wants this, right? So you need some personas as well, right? So like so right now, like the personas, they could be a mortgage broker. It could be the mortgage broker's boss. These are all different personas, right? You could even have a persona conceivably of the person that wants to get the mortgage if they're also somehow interacting on some sort of facet on this thing. So you need to do this research, and it's really about like interviewing your stakeholders, and then you can decide like what's the best way to interview them. Do you do one-on-ones? Do you do a survey? Where you have to interview a lot of them at once, right? And then once you get like a whole bunch of these user stories, then you could start prioritizing them and categorizing them to various epochs, and then you start building, and then you also have to consider their dependencies, right? So some features are dependent on other features being built, right? So that's also something that you want to make discoverable, and that way it's kind of like a that's like the classical software development approach to building something.
And would you say that it makes sense to kind of give them a general idea of what you're looking to create, so they have a sense to kind of provide their provide a user story that is in line with the general idea, or would it be more open-ended of them describing like what the challenges are within their industry?
Yeah. So how do you structure the conversation of like interviewing stakeholders? And so you generally it's just two things. It's like what are like the pain points, right? What are the pain points? What are things that like annoy you, in your line of work? And then what are things that work really well? So like the opposite of a pain point, So you want to incorporate, you want your product to fix these pain points, not create new ones, and maybe like keep the things that are working well. And so that's how you'd structure these conversations, but there's no way to know that without doing these interviews, with your stakeholders. It's a lot easier to build things for yourself because you know what your own pain points are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're building for somebody else, it's much more challenging. And that goes back to like Jilt's recommendation earlier today about this book from the Stanford professor that I bought for $7 on Amazon Kindle. Jilt, you should get some like a kickback from Amazon for this advertising. You should have posted your affiliate link, Jilt, and then you would have gotten like a nickel.
A nickel.
Look, a nickel used to be a lot of money. A nickel, you could go to the movie theater for a nickel. That's why they call them Nickelodeons.
I'm sure that was before your time.
Yeah.
There is the thing that you are describing.
I can't hear him. I'm gonna
you
come out and
can't.
come back in.
Okay.
Sorry, Jill.
The thing that Jonathan is saying, it reminds me once that I was using a Google product that now is a package, a React package, but once it was just a JavaScript library, and it was to create fast websites and ecological websites that they are cheaper on the phone batteries. And it was like in 2014, and I was in Amsterdam I was invited at this meeting about this library by Google, which was a product by Google, and they had these people on the coffee shop on the morning. There was a bar. It was a coffee bar in the morning. And if you arrived before 9 o'clock, you had the chocolate muffin, and you had all these people.
I think you cut out, Jill.
With you at the bar tables, as if they were people that met you at the bar. and they were listening to your story, you know. And this is the point. The point is that most of the time, when you get feedback, you start with a general question, and then the person tells you the story, and while listening to the story, you can get in depth with the problem.
Jill, I feel like you're saying so much good stuff, but it keeps
Oh,
keeps getting you're a little choppy. I'm not sure if it's just me or if it's everyone.
no, it's my internet. I'm sure of it.
You sound good now. If you want to continue.
Okay. I was talking about my story with a Google product,
Hmm.
how they could feedback at the bar in the morning with all these people that were using their product, and they were asking for our stories at the bar while we were having coffee and chocolate muffin. I remember these chocolate muffins because they were like, there were just 50 chocolate muffin, and they were only for us that we came in early. And there were all these Google people that asked you for your story, and telling your story in front of this little, you were
And
ready
Jill,
to tell them everything.
that's interesting. And did they were they just like kind of letting you speak as freely as you want? Was it kind of like a general question that they asked you?
They started with the general question, but then you could see that they were focusing on the problem.
Hmm.
They started with knowing you know, and then afterwards they could tell what you could say about the product that was interesting.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's a good way to take feedback.
Yeah, that's a good way to take feedback for sure. Um, Pooja, you think it would make sense to, if let's say we took this next week, right, and I put together a series of questions, like maybe some type of survey, and that maybe at like a follow up call we can get a few more people who might be interested in this product.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
You think sorry, John. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, well, I think that's a great idea, Tony, and I think like that's like 100% what like you should do like that. But what I wanted to mention was if we go back to like the homepage of like there's another like layer to this. But like if you go to the homepage, like yeah, okay, great. So here you have let's if you read the homepage, right? It's like so you see like hot, fine. Warm is to the right of hot, and then cold is all the way to the left of hot and one row below. So the question is why? Because like usually hot, warm, and cold already like suggest a ranking. So you'd usually see like hot on top, warm in the middle, cold on the bottom, right? And then so then the like that's another question, because this will affect like where your users' eyes look, whether they feel comfortable using the platform, and that will affect adoption. So and so you have people like like Jill that are like artists, and so they're a little bit more sensitive to like how the front end of something looks like. But that's another thing you want to like keep in mind. And so usually what you do is because you don't want to like surprise your customer, you create wireframes, right? You create wireframes that actually have like all the layout of the page, and you create wireframes that show how if you click one thing it goes to the next thing, and you see that like click through journey on the wireframes. And fortunately these things are a lot faster to build these days because because of things like Claude Design, where Claude Design could build these wireframes for you really quickly, and then like you show these wireframes like to your customer to see if they like the way that it looks like, right? Because you don't want to like build a front end and then later you find out, oh, it's too awkward, and you want to go back and you start want to changing things and you start wasting time, and so
Mhm.
so what you want to do is you want to do your interview. To recap, you want to interview your stakeholders. You want to get those user stories, and then you want to also do the wireframes, the mock-ups of how the front end looks like, and then you show off, you show these things off, at some sort of cadence, so you can get that feedback early, which is like the agile way of doing things. Obviously, I know some people in the room know all about agile, like Nav. So that's what I recommend.
So obviously, you would say that these mock-ups should come after interviewing the stakeholders and getting those user stories, right?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah. The first thing is always like the interview the stakeholders, get the user stories, and then you start building the wireframes. You have some people build the wireframes, and you have some people like that are working on the on the things that happen on the back end. But in our case, in the age of AI, one
You
person
could
could be
do all
doing
of it.
you
Yeah.
could be doing all of it. But there's still like a process that you go through, and this process, you can't really speed up with AI. It's slow. It's just people talking with each other.
It's the human element, right?
It's a human element, precisely.
Okay, that's interesting.
And it's very important. It's very important. It's a prototype, but if you have a prototype, you can understand the issues that people can have interacting with the prototype, and before building it entirely. So it prevents most issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, that's like a little more into it. Like hot would be green, cold would be like red. So like the person knows where to look more. But yeah, main thing is trying to like, get the lead. Like, how are we searching the internet? How is the AI searching the internet to find people to talk to? That's really interesting to me. How we're gonna get that.
Yeah, how to get the actual leads themselves as well. Yeah, that's probably one of the cornerstones. Jill, you were saying?
What she just said. What's your name again? I'm sorry, I forget names with a speed.
Can you guys
that-
hear her?
Yeah, we can hear her, Pooja.
I might have to get out and come back
okay.
in. Sorry, one sec.
Yeah, her name is Pooja, by the way, Jill.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna wait for her. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. Pooja just couldn't hear anyone.
Okay.
I think it's her phone, but you can go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, it's very important, as I said, Raj, but also Jonathan. It's the process of design thinking is exactly that, and it's more important to be focused on the people that use the product than the speed that you're gonna. You can build something fast and build something that is completely useless. I am in a couple of groups of female founders, and I find many people building complete products with Claude or with Lovable, and they don't realize that the product that they're building, it doesn't solve the problem until they get it in front of an audience, and the prototyping. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a true story. Like I still like if I want to make a note to myself while I'm on the computer, I still sometimes just open up a notepad file and paste it in.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I save the notepad file. Okay. That's a technique from the 1990s. Okay. So you have like all these interesting, like you have bookmarks and you have Obsidian and you have like all these cool software things. And I still like just open up a notepad file, type what I want to remember, and save it somewhere. 1990s.
Yeah.
You know, so there's you know there's there's human nature, and like sometimes you could just be used to doing things a certain way, and you just don't adopt the new way of doing it, you know. And so
But if it's useful for you, it goes.
right.
It's not. I have the sticky notes in front of me that I use for my ideas, and I stick them to the wall because I need that to create my diagrams. So, you know, and this is a way.
Yeah.
I'm using a book, so at least you guys are using software.
Exactly.
Interesting. So Jill, do you think that there could be some interest in maybe even having your platform talk about like the flow of how to actually build, right? Especially now, like the technical aspects used to take months to build out, right? Now, like I can, like if I'm brave enough, I can tell you that it could be built out in maybe a couple of days or a week or something, right? At least the MVP aspects, even quicker depending on what you're building out. So now you could kind of spend more time on the design process, right? And speaking with users and creating um, beautiful front ends and having wireframes and all that stuff and having deeper conversations and understanding like what you're building out. So do you think it's I think you're calling it design thinking integration, but do you think it makes sense to maybe even have a flow on your platform so it's like, oh, you know, this is how you use uh, these agentic tools, and then but that's just like one
Okay.
part of the one piece of the process. Like the more important part is like this is design thinking and it hasn't changed, and in fact you can spend even more time on it and build out things that are more effective than in the past when you had to split your attention and time on actually building out the product on the technicals.
You know what? There is a part of the lesson which is the starting part in which I talk about the goal and how to build a skill.
Mhm.
And there's a link to the soul file for Hermes, and
Okay.
I could integrate this idea better, because if you, for example, if you tell the agent to behave like your user into the agent that MD, or to, if you have some feedback already, if you know what the main points are for your user and you list them on the agent.md, when you interact with your agent, you basically interact with the feedback that the user gives to you. So this could be a good way to set up the project.
That's very
Did
cool,
you?
actually.
So yeah, the first part of the lesson can be updated to just to put a little hint to the design thinking process, so that people don't assume that they can just start and the product as they think, and it may work exactly. I mean, it may happen, but it's a lottery. And instead, they start thinking that to build the project, they already have some points that are feedback from users.
I like that word lottery. That's kind of what happens whenever you're kind of blindly prompting, right? Like you're you're just kind of hoping that okay, something is built out that you like, and it'll be something that the user likes as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let me write this down so that I remember it. I can use it.
That could be a line that you use, right? Like you might start it out as like, "Don't play the lottery. This is how you actually build." Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I have to confess that I always wanted to win the lottery. Like I know like there's this thing about like working hard and like being like, you know, satisfied about all the work that you've done, but still I've always wanted to win. I don't know why, you know. I don't know. It's
I
this
know
idea.
why.
Why? Tell me. Tell me.
So you can get a mortgage.
Yeah. So you could build your real estate portfolio.
It could be anybody, but you should go through Pooja. So I
Yeah,
think that's a,
that's so cool. But also, yeah, like it's just a thing of, you know, the abundance and financial freedom, and never like when you earn, I feel like the buying power always increases and you always just spend more. So it would be nice to hit the lottery. Off topic, but
uh,
yeah.
yeah, but it's not off topic exactly because the phenomenon you're describing, Pooja, is happens with working with AI, right? So you just said like that as you earn more, right, you spend more, and then you need to earn more because you're spending more, right? So
Right.
so so the same thing happens when you're working with AI, right? You think it's a time saver, but then you end up like spending hours like prompting and reprompting and with AI, and then it's just taking a long time.
Hmm.
And like what like I have like this hobby. I like mathy stuff. Okay, I like math. It's like a little hobby of mine, and so sometimes like I would like write like a math report with AI, and I need it to illustrate something for me. And I spent like hours trying to tell it how to like illustrate it,
Yeah.
and so that's another thing that you want to watch out for when you're building with AI. We are instead of it saving you time, it's costing you time, right?
Yeah.
And this is a problem that's right now happening in corporate America with AI enablement, because everybody's just spending these tokens, and it's not clear if it's creating business value or people are just like just spending tokens. So this thing that you said about like earning more and then buying more, then you need to earn more again, and like using AI, building something, then you got to build even more, and like instead of having now free time to go touch grass, as the kids these days say, you're still like vibe coding. So that's not correct. That's not the dream. The dream
that's
is
not
that
the point.
that's not the point. The dream
Well,
is
that's
that
why I
AI
like
let
the
yeah
sorry to
yeah
cut you off. I
no
like
go
what
go
Tony
go go
does is he teaches a lot about how to really optimize your prompts. So he goes to like ChatGPT for he uses different AIs before
right.
even getting the full thing executed. He uses multiple AIs to learn how to prompt it the best way, which was cool. So that's something I learned from him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and I think one of the kind of value propositions of having these live streams is that we figure out how to build out things in a truly effective way, right? So that we're not spending the same amount of time we would have spent just building it out ourselves, or close to that, right? It shouldn't be the case that you save like 10% of the time. Then that means you're doing it wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's supposed to be orders of
Right.
magnitude better. Check that.
Yeah, I was debt with age. I'm sorry, I'm not grammatically correct today. I was thinking about this idea of finding people. I must say that I don't know the environment and the ecosystem of mortgage and investments and real estate. I know many people that work there, but I never worked. But what I can
Yeah,
say,
but the
uh,
function of this thing we want is the lead generation part, like more than anything. I mean, of course, we want to qualify it too, because the reason we're doing this is because I used one before, like an AI tool
yeah,
that sent out meta ads and stuff like that. But the leads we were getting were like very bad. Like it was people that wanted a house but had nowhere near the funds to get a house. So we wanted to integrate the qualifying part a little more.
yeah,
But main thing is how to search the internet for leads, like people that are interested.
So that was a pain
yes,
point, right now that was a pain point. Like we got these leads from these ads, but the leads, they wouldn't be able to like afford the mortgage or whatever. Not my field, don't know. But like
Yes.
that that
There's
that,
three
that would.
portions, like asset,
Mhm,
income, and credit, and they would be
mhm.
missing one or two of those.
Yeah, okay, good. So that's even that is the pain
Yeah.
point even more
I
fleshed
don't
out.
know.
It's like missing like one or two of these three criteria. And like, and like we were so disappointed. We used this AI tool, it had ads, we were getting ads, we
Right.
thought that's it. We're in business, and then boom, it gives us these leads that are missing two out of three things, right? That's a pain point. So that is something that if you're building a software product, you'd have to like make sure it addresses that pain point. But there's no way to know this unless you do
Exactly.
an interview and you actually ask about things that went well and things that didn't go well, the pain points.
Right.
So,
Yep.
and
You
this process
see,
takes time.
you see what just happened. You just told your story, and Jonathan
Mm-hmm.
rightfully I've seen the problem into the story. That's what feedback is, starting from the story and then understand what are the good points and the problem points. And what I was saying was that in the world of the blockchain is there are airway real world application blockchains like the new one Robinhood that demonstrate how people would really like to connect their wealth, their digital wealth to real world wealth, and I think that there are a lot of platforms that are loan and borrowing platforms that live on those blockchains like Robinhood, but there are a lot of like Arbitrum is converting half of its blockchain into a real world application blockchain.
Arbitrum is?
So find places in which people are interested in investing in real world and have the capital.
Interesting.
And yes, it's a real world application and Robinhood blockchain.
Oh, I see. You're saying Robinhood. I heard Arbitrum.
Yeah, it's both. This is the new one. Arbitrum is already there, and it's converting half of its revenue into RWA,
Interesting.
which means real world application.
Mm-hmm.
Real world application, yeah, real world access, something like that. Yes, yeah.
That's definitely helpful. I have a
Not
lot of
really,
thoughts around
not
that as
much.
well. Yeah. Sorry.
Really? No,
I
I want to hear.
I do. There is actually some things coming up in New York, RWA related. Um, and I thought it would be nice to bring Pooja along with her industry to those actual events, because I have a suspicion that a lot of them are probably looking at more of like the technical aspects. Yeah, the RWA summit, more of like the technical aspects, and they may not have like the actual real world um, part of the system in the house, right, in the actual event. So it might be valuable for Pooja and other people within her industry to come to these events. So the first Pooja's hearing about it, but we'll speak more about it in some time.
Yeah, I can
In
make a
Europe
post
we have,
too and like invite other people.
Yeah, and
it's worth it.
yeah, definitely is. Uh, Pooja, so you basically outlined some of the challenges around lead generation. Do you think that if you were to invite other people as well, that they would lean towards that as being the main thing? Like they would say lead generation, like that's what would come out of their mouths if we were to ask like what is the um, field of where your primary pain points come from.
Yeah, it would be mostly the lead generation part is like getting the clients. You want to have a wide net of clients because you want to close, like people have a different goal of how many loans they want to close per month, right? Like me, my goal is to consistently close 5 to 8 deals a month. And you have to constantly have leads flowing in, because let's say you get 10 leads and you're juggling 10 people, you usually close 3 to 5 of them, right? That's like the close rate. So you want to have a wide array of leads of people that are interested and qualified to like make money. And then the qualified part is good because like you can have 10 people and all of them are like, they have no money for down payment. That's useless. We want 10 people that have money for down payment, have good income, or, they have the funds to be able to buy a house. Useful people. That's basically what this whole bot is supposed to do, generate leads.
Okay, that's good to know. So Jonathan and Jill, if we were to put together like a survey to send out to other more people within the mortgage industry as well, that Pooja works with, would you start with like a general prompt where you're like, oh, what are the challenges that you've seen as you've tried to generate leads for your business, or would you say that's getting too specific, too into the weeds?
So you want to put yourself into the mind of like a survey taker, right? So like, we've all done surveys, right? Like, and they're really open-ended. You may like, forget to mention some things, because it's
Mm.
really open-ended. So what you want to do when you design a survey is to, kind of have like backup questions that might cover something. So you'd have like an open-ended question, like, and then you have that same question, but with like suggested answers, which are like check boxes that they fill out,
Mm-hmm.
and then in those check boxes, you want to have a checkbox that says like other also, because you want to try to capture information from a person, like you could get that survey at a day where you're part of the day when you're just feeling groggy, or so, then you're not gonna like complete the survey. So you have to like throw in some questions there where you could kind of capture some sort of information at a variety of like states, and if they forget something, maybe one of the questions will remind them. And then at the same time, you have to worry about the survey length. They're doing this survey for free, so it can't be too long. So and then sometimes like they throw in a question like at the end, like, hey, can we follow up with you? Do we have permission to contact you to follow up with you? Because some people are like talkers, like me and Jilt. No, just kidding, Jill. and some people just they do the survey, they don't want to be bothered anymore. But obviously, people that would be open to talking with you again afterwards the survey could be a rich source of information. So you want to design a survey with all these things in mind. Then there are different types of questions that you could. There's so many different types of questions. There's like there's this question of like how would you sort these pain points, right? So suppose you have a how would you sort the things that you described? Like which of these is you have like these where you rank things. You have these questions and like 10 rows of items, and then 10 columns, and then columns are marked 1 through like 10, and then you have to like hit like they're called like radio buttons. You have to hit like a radio button for this row. Well, this row is number 5 for you, but this row is like number 1. It's the most painful thing, So then you have to like, you can also like, so there are all these like, so this is the art of survey design. There are all these things that you wanna consider. So the theme to everything that I'm saying is that this stuff takes a little bit of time. This is the human element that cannot be rushed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. I think these live streams can be shifted over towards thinking about the human element first before we even start to prompt these agents. That's interesting. So Pooja, I'll probably call you and we can kind of talk about next steps. But the general direction I'm thinking of is I'll speak to you a bit more of like the challenges that you've outlined, and then we'll speak about like how we can get other people in the room as well, whether that means like they come to this call or if this is maybe not the ideal place for them, how we can distribute some type of survey in a way that they'll actually complete it and doesn't take way too much of their time, because like Jonathan said, they're providing their time for free. So we could speak about that, Pooja, if that makes sense for you.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I would like to do the survey, and I'll hand it out to like my teammates and some other people.
Okay, and Pooja, you probably say that like most people in your industry probably have the same problems, right? For the most part.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, if you go to like, LinkedIn has like some classes there on stakeholder interviews, and they're probably they're templates that people have made that are like questions you could ask, like if you just need to do some research to like, how to structure stakeholder interviews and how to, and which and surveys are a subset of that. They're a subset of stakeholder interviews. And then you also have like places like surveymonkey.com. I think they're still around, and they like help you like write the survey questions like correctly. Like they have like they have like they have like professionally written survey questions that you can adapt and stuff like that, and so they can help you like and then it can also help you like collate the survey's data. So when people respond to the survey, the data will be like in their backend that you can view, and so there's some there's some tools that could help you design the survey aspect of stakeholder interviews. Yeah. So obviously, if you could generate better leads, that would be really good. That would be that's money. That'd be very good to figure out. And maybe like AI agents can help you figure out how to do that like better. But it's not my field, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, we get to explore that now, I guess.
Right.
Okay. I think that's a solid
Can you hear
point.
me?
I can hear you, Jill. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I was what Jonathan with questions before starting. I mean, the questions can help with building the profiles.
Jill, I can't hear you. I could see like the circle expanding and contracting, but I can't hear you.
I can hear her.
I can't hear you.
You have
Can't
to
hear,
exit
I
and
can't
come
hear
back
Pooja
in.
either. I just see the circle expanding and contracting. Is it me? Is it me? I don't know. It's me. Okay, damn it.
Yeah, it's just it's very important. The questions, maybe you can group the question per profile and start building the profiles with the questions, and then when you get the question, you can revisit the profiles, and then you get the prototype. It's a matter of looping. Just to come back to the loop comment. Yeah, the thing that I wrote in the chat was the suggestion that I was going to give, and guys, I lose you too often.
It's okay. What was the suggestion? Is it? I was trying to suggest to go to loan platforms on Robinhood. Is that the suggestion?
Yeah, it's not like Morpho or other loan platforms. They have real world assets, and they have people with money that are interested in investing in these kinds of. So maybe that could be a source for leads. I don't know. I got no idea. Okay.
No, it's definitely a good place to look. That's good.
Morpho, yeah. And yeah, I'm sure that near blockchain as other platforms too. I'm not updated on that.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop on the um, in terms of the actual lead generation platform. Uh, if there's anything else anyone wants to bring up, talk about, have questions about, you're free to bring it up now before we wrap up. Nub, if you have anything.
Yeah, I think this was good. Uh, as I think we came down to few action item on us that you have to get that user surveys. I think I like the entirety of the stream today, honestly. What Jonathan brought up, the entire process, obviously that I think in all software engineering we have been doing it for a while, but startups generally doesn't follow it. So I think we can find a middle ground that how we use these agile methodology with what we do. So I think thank you to Jonathan for bringing that up. And overall, I think design thinking is what our focus should be before even we think of anything. So overall, the stream was very good today. Jill brought out some good point, and then again, at the same time, what the problem statement that Pooja had. So we have to just keep understanding. The one point that we have to understand from that is that she point out that there are lead generation that they do from social media, and also we have to come up with the data source list that okay, this is the data sources that we have to look at, right? So the main and then start scraping or thinking about that how to integrate those data points as an adapter for us. So we'll talk more on technical design, but I think overall design thinking and UI UX is what we can keep refining. And we have Jilt, we have Jonathan, we have Aviraj here. He is very experienced as well with tech. I think we have good feedback team here, so we will keep exploring ideas and design here.
Agreed.
Yeah. Abhiraj, do you have anything to share, Abhi? Maybe quickly, if you want to. Abhi from India, he is part of the India team, and then he has been doing amazing events throughout all around India and educating thousands of people about AI and what we are doing. So, Abhi, if you want to highlight any of the recent things that you have done,
So it
which
may
would
not be
be good.
the same person. in the
No.
chat, in the chat, he said, "Hey, Nav, you confused me with Abhiraj. I'm Raj, but I do know Abhiraj."
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, even Raj, I think I might have confused, but if you want to share anything about you, would love to hear from you. If not, then would
That's
be
okay.
good as well.
Hey Nav, I actually work with Abhiraj, so I mean, I have been to near events, and even Abhiraj was the one who introduced me to the ecosystem. Even he was the one who introduced me to Iron Claw, and we just like I used to help him in the workshops as well. So yeah, I mean we met through we met through an cohort for one of the blockchains out there, and since then we have been like good friends. And I was just on Twitter and then I got this notification that this live stream was on. I was watching it on the live stream, and then I realized, okay, this is an interesting call. I mean, you guys are talking something apart from just using AI and building, and just like Nav and Jonathan said about getting those requirements and thinking about the design, thinking about like the warm and hot and cold leads, right? These are the things like which when we build, right, we just kind of uh, don't take a note of, right? And this just it's an afterthought, right? We are just there for building products, and we miss the things that matter. We don't we don't think the user we don't think about the user. We are just thinking about building stuff. So like I feel the software development cycle is kind of just lost in the middle of just building products, right? It's like you're building it for yourself without taking into account the user who is going to be using your product. And I feel having Pooja, who has has this experience would help kind of refine this product and bring it to the mark. I mean, it was an interesting conversation, and everything from real world assets. We touched on some things and design thinking and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's glad that I think you resonated with that. I think this is where we want to just set up a process before even we think about AI, right? I think we all, as you mentioned, right, that we all think that how quickly I can solve this problem, but hold on, right? Hold on. Let's think that how it can add value in a best possible way.
Yeah, if we didn't have Pooja, right, we would be just building in the blind, right?
Yeah, exactly,
No feedback,
exactly.
nothing, just building, prompting, building. And this is what happens to a lot of our hobby projects, right? They never move out of those hobby project.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Having someone who comes directly from the business, right? They know that what problem that you have to solve, and you can go back to them and ask them the question what you have built is actually solving the problem. But it's iterative. Cannot just say that, oh, today I built something and it can immediately solve the problem, but it is iterative process for even for the users as well as for the builders. So that's what we wanted, just to keep the cadence and then have this discussion going on, and keep getting those feedbacks and iterating on those feedbacks.
Yeah,
Do we have time, Tony? Do we have a bit of time left, or
we do have some time.
yeah?
We can run into 12 if you guys want. It's up to you if
I
there's
was just,
anything else.
like, after attending a lot of these workshops, right? So I mean, I realized that like there are different kind of audiences, right? Like people are at a technical level, right? Like maybe some are just just getting into the software development, or uh, they're just exploring computer science, while others are just kind of seasoned, right? But I think for here, like, because when we do events here in Mumbai, right, and we do target like colleges, right, engineering colleges, and it's like a 4-year degree. So people just come out of college, and for them, uh, all they study in their colleges, like physics, chemistry, and maths, and then they have to learn computer science and stuff. So there is a lot of ground for these people to cover up, right? And what I noticed in workshop is, like, you need to sometimes guide them slowly, right? Like a seasoned developer would know how to get started quickly, right? But there are things where amateurs get stuck sometime. So for one of the examples, like, was like, even when you create a Notion doc, right, they still sometimes get lost, right? Like even when you have like 50 people, 100 people in a workshop, right, you can't say for sure that everyone is on the same page, right? Like some might have system issues, or some might have other things. So so I was thinking of, I built something called as, like, it's obviously wipe coded. It's not like I built it, it's wipe coded, but uh, it's like workshops rooms. I have called it workshop rooms, where it's just a temporary room. It's for the span of those workshop. If you have a meetup or a workshop where you want to educate about something, and you have this set of commands or announcements that you need to make, right, you can just use those workshop rooms and put it as an announcement or something. Like, I mean, the announcements are different and the commands are different. The commands go as a pace. For example, I'm doing a workshop and I need to share a link to like the Near AI cloud, right? And in the next 5 minutes, I need to share something like the Iron Claw links, right? Then I can just have people join the same workshop room, which is, for example, for like 4 hours, and then they would post those links. Uh, uh, I would post those links on the workshop room. Everyone would get the links, right? And after the workshop is done, for example, if I want to also send an API key, right, which which has some credits, right? I don't want. I ideally want it to be used within the cohort, right, within the specific meetup, and not exposed to other participants or in the wider Discord or wider Slack or whatever, right? So I just, for example, paste it there, and they can, after the workshop just ends, right, uh, before the workshop ends, they can just download the env files or JSON, and the room is destroyed, no data is left, nothing. It's for the part of that workshop.
That's
So I was
interesting.
thinking of using it, in like future workshops. We are thinking of using it in future workshops. It would also have something like, uh, sometimes you ask the people, right, like, are you following me or not? And some people would say yes, some would say, some wouldn't understand, but they would still say yes, right? So I mean, we can get a temp check of, how many people are following me actually, like, are they on the same page or not? So it's kind of like improving the productivity of this sessions, and
I-
just
I'll
helping
I'll tell
overall.
you something, Raj. You know what the worst question a teacher could ask his students? You know what the worst question
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
It's do you understand this?
yeah,
Because because students are motivated to say yes when the answer is really
yeah,
no.
yeah.
It's the
I mean,
worst
like,
question a teacher can ask.
you
There's
can
so
look
many
at the,
reasons they will tell you yes when the answer is no.
yeah, I
So,
mean, and you kind of understand that, right, when you know it, right? But this is more of like, if you have a bigger audience or something, right, and you just want to get a number around it,
mm-hmm,
correct? So
mm-hmm,
this is what I was thinking. I mean, this isn't something that I've added right now, but I was planning to kind of add it. Currently it's just disposable temporary rooms for your event or for your workshop, and it's like very rudimentary and very basic right now.
mm-hmm. Does it have QR codes?
No, this is something I need to add. This is something I need to add. For now it just has like uh login for, like, if you are an instructor, you can just
Mm-hmm,
log in and you can create rooms for like 4 hours, 6 hours, or like 24 hours, and students can just join and with the join code.
mm-hmm. And just so you know, Raj, right? Like, uh, there are rules for like like students and online education in New York for I know for sure. So if you did want to like bring like this technology like to the USA, and your customers will be like like young students, there are a lot
Yeah.
more rules about that stuff. So
Okay. Okay.
like you can't just there are a lot more rules about like online electronic meeting rooms for young students. So if you want to you want to always check what are the regulations for electronic communications if you do want to bring this technology out to other people. So
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that's very good, Raj. I think what Raj is trying to say, Jonathan. I think is that can be that can be applicable to anyone who is trying to do the workshop at any level, right? Even the industry level, we do workshop where we go and if anything new concepts or any new product idea that I want to share, right? So it could be 50 to 100 people, but
yeah.
the whole concept and the whole idea is how I can basically ensure or evaluate that what am I sharing is actually getting out there and people are able to follow along. If I understand it correctly from Raj,
yeah,
right,
and to
Raj?
the right, and to the right audience, right, like those who are
Exactly.
in this workshop. And like, if I'm sharing an API key, someone can, I mean, at the first point someone can easily share it, right? For example, you have a big Telegram group, so you have some Discord and you have 100 peoples. Maybe you create a new channel or something in your server, and then you just put the keys or whatever, or your links. But then there are also people asking questions in the Discord as well, right? If they get stuck somewhere, like, it's happened that when I'm in a workshop, we have a specific group for it, and then I share the links, and then some of the attendees, they ask some another question, and all those links and everything, they just get kind of lost in those chats, right? But in
Mhm.
this case, it's a one way. I am the one sharing the announcements, and I'm the one sharing the link, and those announcements and links are in a specific sorted order with like no chats in between as such, right? So
Do you have a
they can
link, Abhi, that you can share in the chat?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So actually I hosted it on Render, so it would take some time to spin up because I'm on the free version. So
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, maybe like we next time we can have this for 10 15 minutes. You can just show us how to use it. Probably we can try here in New York when we do some of our events.
It's vibe coded, guys. So don't
Yeah,
take me for
it's
the
okay. We
UI.
can always refine it, right? It's just the idea. We can always go back, and if it is useful, we can always go back and build it with the scratch with right design principles.
I mean, it's on GitLab and private. It's on GitLab and private right now. But like, if anybody wants to kind of contribute and, for example, refine the UI or something, or add some features or suggestions, I can just make it open source or add you guys as well.
Okay. I don't know. I have an old project with rooms, which was built in 3D, like a metaverse. But it's old. It's
Also, I
2
had
years old. So and then yeah.
yeah, you go on, Jilt. Go on, Jilt.
Well, it's okay. I don't have anything more to say.
No, what I was thinking about as well as, when I was building is like, do you guys know any of, like, for example, from a competitor point of view, do you see any competitors or like existing platforms that like this that come out of your mind right off the bat or something?
No, I can't think of
I mean,
anything.
yeah, I mean, like, apart from Discord or something, create a Telegram channel or create a Discord channel and do something like this.
No, I think this has always been a challenge,
Um,
like both with virtual communities and IRL events that you're doing. Nub and I have done a few of these workshops, and it's always daunting to find out like where everyone is and the general temperature of the room. So
Yeah.
anything that adds like a layer of structure is helpful. I think this would be really great if you can demonstrate that this works. I think it could probably help with like, for example, you can try with like the rest of Legion, right? And then you get feedback from Legion. And
Yeah.
if this is something that really works, then you can even move on to creating an actual product out of this, right? Maybe not to jump ahead, but maybe there's grants within the near ecosystem that could be provided towards something like this.
And also it's like, like it kind of feels simple. For example, you're doing some workshop and then there is some command which, you say someone like, hey, this command was shared in the Discord or something, and then you go to that specific person and then you are with him on his laptop and then you are trying to, find that command or what was that command. But you can just point to this workshop room and say, hey, see, this is like the top fourth command or the second last command that we are on or something, right? I think this might need a bit of refinement, but like, I mean, we haven't run a pilot or something yet, right, with the specific workshop. So maybe we get more feedbacks or something once we use it in a actual meetup or something, right?
Yeah, maybe it's valuable to find out like who's coming to your events, and it could be beneficial to have multiple rooms. It could be the case that you might have someone who's or a group of people or a number of students that are more sophisticated. Maybe they come from software engineering backgrounds, and they might not have the same challenges that some newer people or some people who are just coming to just see what's going on. So you might have multiple rooms based off of skill or why they're there, um, and then you could try to get like people on the same page based off of that, and then you could have like a general room as well, so that people can cross exchange ideas and experiences. But it could be beneficial to operate in that way, and maybe you even have SMEs based on the identified problems, right? Or like the general sense.
Was also thinking about like some possible AI integrations, but I think it's like, just because I can have those AI integrations with all the tools available at my disposal and I can build it, but I think it wasn't kind of fair, just having this initial uh, small product and then testing it out and then knowing from the audience what uh, AI features they want in it. Like, for example, what if you are sharing some commands or something and you can just ask the AI chat that, uh, please explain me this command or something, rather than going to GPT or something, right?
Mhm. That could be interesting. Sorry, someone mentioned Moodle, Moodle.
Yeah,
Just
I've been
teachers talking.
working.
That's all. Just Jilt and I are like talking about like learning management systems. So like where do we host our courses? Like Canva or Canvas. Canvas was good. Infrastructure, and then there was like other other platforms. And so Moodle is an open source LMS system. So I always wanted to learn it, but I felt it was kind of like I don't know. It was kind of like yeah. It was kind of challenging to learn. It's just completely off tangent.
Raj, by the way, Jilt and Jonathan are both teachers, so you brought up your idea at the right place.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do agree with
It's
Jonathan's
too
point
big.
as well.
Moodle is.
What about GitHub Classrooms, or do you guys use GitHub Classrooms as well? Or it was closed down, right? GitHub Classrooms, I think, if I'm not wrong.
GitHub. I've been using GitHub Classrooms for a while for a cohort with a Polish company, and it works very good.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking for something to customize, Moodle is the best. It's very big, as we just said, but so it's very easy to customize. I've been working on it with PHP, so that it's easier than other things.
Yeah, I gotta try using Moodle again, because what I've been doing is I've been like making my classes as HTML pages on GitHub, and then I would just like take like my students through the different links in the HTML page, but at least I have like and GitHub pages was my like centralized, was where my classes live, but I'm thinking of like but Moodle, is like a real like that's like a real LMS. So maybe I'll go back to it, Jilt, and I'll try learning it again. So
The point is that you can find whatever you want in Moodle, because there are so many extensions and so many people that have been working on it that it's basically impossible to not find what you're looking for.
Okay, thanks.
But
I'll check it out again. I'm gonna check it out again. I'm gonna check it out again for sure. For sure. It's been a while since I looked at it. For sure.
yeah, it's if Raj, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
If you have an idea of an interface, of an interaction, like the workroom, because I think your idea is basically on the kind of interaction that the student have with the teacher. I think that creating a Moodle team would be a good way, because of developing it, because in this way you can integrate like quizzes and all the plugins by Moodle, and so many people can do a lot of stuff. But no, it's been like 5 years since last time I used Moodle, so
Yeah, I wonder how
I would
has
need
the
to check that out too.
I know. I'm gonna check out Moodle. I wonder now, like, how has Moodle changed, like now with the AI revolution? Did that speed up its development or something? Does it? I'm just curious. Like maybe AI could like solve all my like Moodle learning problems. it'll just make the PHP code for me.
Also, if there is a notebook integration that creates quizzes automatically from the lesson.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna check.
So
I'm gonna check it out this
fun.
weekend. I got it ready. I'm teaching a Python course this upcoming week, so I'm gonna check out Moodle and see if I could like try something new this week.
Okay, fine. I will ask you again next week, and
ask me next week.
I hope I'm gonna finish the course.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it went. I'm gonna try it. Maybe I could make something from Moodle and Claude and something for my students. Okay, guys, I'm going off tangent with Jilt. We're gonna keep on talking if somebody doesn't do something.
No, I definitely love it.
Thank you.
Would love to continue these conversations next week as well. And Raj, please come as well. No pressure on building out your platform, but it'd be nice to see it
Yeah.
in action. And are you guys are hosting like a workshop too as well? I think right this week.
Not this week.
Okay.
Not this week. I mean, at least not for this month of August.
Okay.
Maybe we're planning in the all the venue and everything for the next month.
Okay. And I think you were the one that put together that notion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
No
this
wonder.
is like, yeah, this is yeah. The meetups are giving me ideas.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think
Guys,
we can.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. No problem. I think we're all near the close for this one. Definitely we'll see you guys next week. I'll keep you guys updated as well for my workflow with the Warp
Same
Speed
here.
application. And we'll have Jilt, Raj, Jonathan, and anyone else interested to speak about anything they've worked on in the coming week. And we can kind of see how we can move all these ideas and projects forward in the near ecosystem and beyond it as well. So thank you guys
Yes.
for joining, and speak to you guys soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, Tony. Thanks, Naj,
Bye,
Raj,
people.
Jill, everybody
Bye,
else.
all.
See you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
guys.
everyone. Talk to you guys
Talk to you.
next week.
Bye.